Welcome back to Elegance Lab. I want to offer you 4 principles for when it feels like you are in the womb space, the void, the dark, or the light, depending on how it feels for you. But either way, they can both feel terrifying of unknown. The 4 principles are embodiment, creativity, connectivity, and emergence. These are the things that I work with in the Elegance Lab process. So the first is what I call creative embodiment, which is really the whole theme. But I'm going to speak first to embodiment. Embodiment is the practice of reconnecting with our full being, not separating mind and body, not separating spirit and body, but acknowledging that we are completely connected beings, and Earth is, and greater consciousness is a completely connected entity. And therefore, the more that we actually connect with the body, the more we actually connect with the spirit, the more we actually connect to Earth, the more we connect to the cosmos, the more we connect to the cosmos, the more we connect to Earth. In yoga, back in the day, this is what the premise of yoga was about. I don't mean to just say back in the day, it's still relevant now, but it was not just about doing asana and doing traditional practice that we think of now, that's like fitness. It was really connecting with the body in a way that's healthy to free the spirit. And there's a philosopher, a yogic philosopher, BKS Iyengar, and he said, when people ask me this question, do you treat the body so that you can get to the spirit, or do you access the spirit so you can take care of the body? He's like, it's both. When we're looking at embodiment from a more divine feminine spirituality, what we're talking about is engaging the fullness of the female body as well, and really restoring and calling back this reclamation of the whole being, because the female body and the feminine archetypes have been so demonized in religious spaces, they've been ignored in scientific spaces. So embodiment is also this process of calling back the forgotten parts of our collective, but also calling back the forgotten parts of ourselves. And to become more embodied means that I can sit here and say I'm hot, and there's a tingling in my eyes, and there is a deep calm in my lower belly, and there's a tightness in my back, and I can hear these birds, and I can see the ceiling fan off to my side even as I'm here, and I can be imagining this person before me and the things that can come forth from people accessing them being themselves in an embodied state, and all can exist at the same time. And I'm both holy and human, and this is life. And I am not ignoring it, and I am not taking out parts of it. I am actually calling back all parts of me. And it's from this place of calling back in parts of me that I can actually discern and have choice, which we'll go to next. But we start here. We start with the reclamation of what is. The second piece is conscious transformation. And this, for me, is the actual core foundation of creativity. Yes, we are looking at the arts when we're thinking about creativity, but what we are talking about always is this presence to this awareness of the present moment and this connection to the present moment. And I do believe that all art has come from presence to the connection moment and curiosity, because when you actually connect with the present moment, you ask questions. And so connecting to the present, we have an association that connecting to the present means inherently meditating or being still, when in fact, how would we have ever built civilizations? How would we have created instruments? How would we have expressed on walls and created all the amazing art that exists today if we hadn't been present to the moment and actually asked what can be? Now, asking what can be has also led to atrocious things when the power is concentrated in the hands of people who do not have all of humanity at heart. However, presence to the moment is the birthplace of all ideas, and you can trust that your presence to the moment is actually what will birth forth new life instead of ignoring it. The third principle is connectivity. And I also call this collaborative experimentation. And this is incredibly important right now because we live in such an individualistic culture that we have all been influenced by, that we all think I have to get it right and I have to get it done. And there's even a huge thought in me that I could just not share this video because it's not perfect yet and it's not right. And I want to wait until I see how it's gonna and while refinement, which we'll get to next, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. If we cannot start to be in connection with the people who are striving toward these richer, deeper goals as us, and if the people don't exist yet, at least being in connection with higher power or source or our deeper self to be able to take that first step of change that we want to see, the idea will die with us. The vision will die with us. And that is when you have that feeling of regret and loss and continued heaviness. We actually are made to release this idea. You are made to release this and let it coexist with others. And this is one of the most tense steps of the process right now because trust is so jeopardized amongst ourselves. This is why embodiment and conscious transformation have to come first to a degree, even though these are all connected. Because if you don't have this self-trust, if you try to give it to another person and they don't latch, then you might feel like you're drifting. But if you try to give it to another person and they don't latch and you wanted that, then instead of feeling like I'm lost and I'm drifting, you're thinking, I'm just waiting, I'm just finding my person. And when that right Velcro comes, that's going to be that unbreakable bond. And that leads to the next point, which is emergence and what I call emergent innovation, emergent strategy, as Adrienne Marie Brown says. I could drop the word innovation because it has such a negative connotation sometimes of how much we praise and uplift, quote unquote, innovation technology today and ignore all other forms of innovation. But I think that it's just like I keep the word God in my life, even though it doesn't have the same meaning in the context I was raised with. I believe in reclaiming that word so that the conversation can expand around it. I am keeping the word innovation because we get to define what that word means as a society. We get to define what it is to actually create something novel and unique. And the concept of emergence is that this idea, this creative child of yours is going to become, and it's going to age, just like you're going to become an age. This creative child of yours is going to become an age. And so emergence is also about detachment and it's about letting go. And even as I speak this one, my head hurts a little bit because there's a part of me that thinks, for many of us, it's like, but I spent so much time on this. Like, I don't want to let it go. I'm desperate to let it go, but I don't want to let it go. And actually letting it go, if at the right time, in the right place, with the right collaborators, is going to be what helps to start to nurture it. And even if it's not other people yet, it might still be other, you get to decide and we work on that, but who or what does it need to be connected to let the next iteration start to come? 3-4 very simple ways that you could start to implement these principles in your own work now. Firstly, embodiment is actually give yourself the space to feel what you're feeling. You can get a list and write down 10 emotions you're feeling, and just so that you can see I'm feeling all of them at the same time. And you don't have to go into them more if you don't want to, but wow, I'm a human with multiplicity and I can experience many things. And then if you have the space, give yourself the space to feel, because it's not going to kill you. With conscious transformation, disconnect from the senses, from the traditional senses in some way, resting the eyes, meditating, going on a walk, looking around at nature, and put yourself in a state where you can be more aware of the present moment beyond just what's happening in the thinking mind. that will put you in touch with a richer creative state, connectivity, connect into either source or the thing that you care most about, or another speaker in the subject that you care about, or a client or person you've helped, or a memory that has helped you, or a person who you want to work with, and let yourself be impacted by it because we are inherently relational beings. And then from that state, allow emergence, which is to say to take one step. So you got 3 little things before you take that one step. It's not too bad.